This is why the Dallas Cowboys are better than you think. So we're going to be going through that and 3 other stories in today's video. So make sure to like this video, and if you want more Dallas Cowboys news content like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel by hitting that red button down below. The first story is the Dallas Cowboys are not done making moves this NFL offseason and are going all in. NFC contender, the Dallas Cowboys may make shocking $13 million blockbuster trade that would involve Pittsburgh Steelers running back Najee Harris. According to a report, the Cowboys would be an ideal landing spot for one of the top running backs in the league today. The proposal would see Dallas sending a 2025 fourth-round draft pick in exchange for the Alabama product. Harris is likely entering his final season with the Steelers after declining his 5th-year option. Trading Harris would give Pittsburgh something out of a trade before potentially leaving the team in free agency next season. The Steelers would be foolish if they let him walk next offseason without getting something ahead of his departure. The former first-round draft pick from the 2021 NFL Draft has been one of the more consistent running backs. He's been able to run for over 1,000 yards in each of his first 3 seasons in the NFL. Harris has the 4th most rushing yards of any running back in the league in that time frame and only ranks behind Derrick Henry in carries. The Alabama product established himself as one of the most durable running backs with capabilities of carrying a heavy workload. The only miscue about Harris's play is his ability to get big plays, and there's a ceiling on carrying the ball. Harris's agent denied that he asked the Steelers to not pick up his 5th-year option. The running attack is being led by Harris and Jaylen Warren, so there's no secret on that. However, it's fair to speculate if there's any truth about his future with the Steelers in the ongoing trade rumors. They may find some trade partners if they're considering the trade. It's a big if situation, as he's safe in Pittsburgh for the 2024 campaign. The Dallas Cowboys are preparing for a major shift with the return of the veteran running back Ezekiel Elliott. Elliott is back in the game, but this time the Cowboys have an interesting strategy up their sleeves. Was carrying the weight of the team's running strategy. However, his return to Dallas projects a unique prospect. Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy envisions a shared responsibility, a running back by committee approach to revolutionize the field game. Instead of relying on one primary back like it did with Elliott in the past, the team intends to distribute the workload more evenly among their running backs. Head coach Mike McCarthy clarified the change in role for Elliott post the rookie minicamp. "We're a running back by committee," he explained, "but I think he'll definitely play at the level that he's played at in my time here. I don't see any drop-off in the way he moves. He's in good shape." Elliott has proven time and time again that he still has significant play left to offer. His stint with the New England Patriots showed that he has not lost any steam. He secured 642 yards and notched 3 touchdowns. The Dallas Cowboys may have to prepare for life without Dak Prescott. The 3-time Pro Bowl quarterback is on the verge of entering the final year of his deal with Dallas. While the Cowboys remain adamant that they want to sign the 30-year-old quarterback for the long term, there's no guarantee that will be the case. As pitched by Cowboys Wire's K.D. Drummond, he mentions New York Giants quarterback Daniel Jones as one of several potential replacements for Prescott. Drummond mentions Jones as the worst nightmare of the 8 potential replacements, but says he could be a bridge quarterback if the Cowboys are forced to sign one in free agency next offseason. Nevertheless, they'll likely be in the market again next offseason, and that could range from signing Prescott as a FA or going back into the draft, writes Drummond. Either way, Jones will hit the FA market as someone who was clearly overdrafted and unable to do anything but be a bus driver, in the negative connotation. But as a bridge guy to transition to a draft pick QB, he's in the realm of possibilities. Again, Jones would not be the ideal replacement for Prescott. However, if the Cowboys are unable to trade for a quarterback in the event Prescott leaves in free agency, Jones would be one of the better options by default. Jones is technically under contract through the 2026 season, but could be released during the 2025 offseason with a dead cap hit of just over $22 million. Considering the Giants could be in rebuilding mode next offseason, with an eye towards their future franchise quarterback in the 2025 NFL Draft, the likely scenario sees New York move on from Jones. The second story is, when should Cowboys trade Dak Prescott backups QB Trey Lance or Cooper Rush? There is a time and a place for everything. Think back and recall that during the 2023 season, NFL quarterbacks were dropping like flies, leaving teams desperate for help. And could the Dallas Cowboys move a quarterback to benefit from it? 12 starting quarterbacks went down at some point in 2023. Some were able to come back, but others weren't so lucky. The Cowboys already have starter Dak Prescott, and they have backup parts to spare in Cooper Rush and Trey Lance. They can move one if the opportunity presents itself. Should that be Lance? With the team declining his fifth-year option, they've left the door open for teams to inquire about his services on a cheap deal, while risking him leaving here via free agency a year from now. Should it be Rush? He is also out of contract after this year, and he's older, with a set ceiling that Lance doesn't not have. Would Dallas such a deal to take on a running back? To get a future pick as they keep their powder dry? And when to do it? That last point is the key. The opportunity for Lance to show off his abilities will come in OTAs, training camp, and preseason right about the same time other teams' QBs might start dropping like flies, thus making Dallas assets more covetable commodities. The NFL knows what Rush is. The Cowboys would like to see him boost his stock so they can decide if they are going to keep him around for insurance purposes in the Dak Prescott situation should they need to, or use him as trade bait for a piece to help the team now or later. So yes, a QB trade could be in the offing. We don't know the who or the what, but given what can happen with injuries at the position, we sort of do know the when. Cowboys Executive Vice President Stephen Jones said Saturday the team continues to look for talent at wide receiver and running back. The Cowboys worked out receiver Zay Jones, who eventually signed a one-year deal with Arizona on Friday. And despite the one-year deal running back Ezekiel Elliott signed, the organization continues to search. What do I always say about player acquisition, Jones said. It's 365 days a year. Jones expressed support for those currently on the roster of both positions, particularly receiver. Anytime you got a chance to add a pro, you look at it and see, he said. But we like our group. It's like I said, we're always thinking if somebody can improve us, we'll take a look at it. The third story is, despite clickbait label, Cowboys Najee Harris trade connection, rumors continue. The Pittsburgh Steelers' decision not to pick up the fifth-year option of running back Najee Harris sent what many felt were clear signals that the former first-round pick wasn't part of the club's future, especially after the apparent 2023 breakout of Jaylen Warren. So naturally, the next step was looking at possible trades for Harris to send him to a running back-needy team. A search for NFL teams in need of a running back this offseason immediately ends up focusing on the Dallas Cowboys, a group that lost Tony Pollard this offseason and is currently set to enter the 2024 campaign with Ezekiel Elliott. Unfortunately for the Cowboys, or so it seemed, that might have just been all blustering with no substance. One insider referred to the Harris Cowboys rumblings as clickbait, and that seemed to let the trade rumors die there. And yet they aren't going anywhere, which has to make you wonder about how real this could be. Cowboys Najee Harris trade rumors won't stop, even with clickbait label Matt Holder of Bleacher Report recently pulled out his BS meter regarding some of the ongoing NFL rumors throughout the league, and Dallas's possible trade interest in Najee Harris was the first order of business. And playing the game of buy or sell for these rumors, Holder is buying that there could be something there with the Cowboys and the Steelers, calling it a where there's smoke, there's fire situation. It would make sense for Pittsburgh to deal the 2021 first-round pick for future assets, and the team would get a little more than $2.4 million in cap relief, while taking on only about $1.7 million in dead cap, according to Over the Cap, Holder wrote. Meanwhile, Dallas could use another running back and has roughly $5.5 million of cap space available. Granted, NFL Network's Jane Slater reported that the Cowboys dismissed the trade rumors as clickbait, and the team recently signed Ezekiel Elliott. However, that could be the front office trying to downplay their interest in Harris to avoid the price tag going up, and Elliott is past his prime. Holder also noted that the win-now mentality of Jerry Jones could make trading picks for Harris worth it in the end. While it's hard to say exactly what's going on behind closed doors for both the Cowboys and Steelers, it's worth noting that the situation seems too perfect for everyone involved for this to just be clickbait and nothing else. There's a player that Pittsburgh clearly doesn't value as part of the future and could lose for nothing next offseason. There's a team in Dallas that needs a player of Harris's caliber at the position. And the Cowboys have picks that they could move to make a deal which they could fit on the books. It all adds up. And that's probably the reason that this isn't going to die down anytime soon. We keep hearing this connection be made despite attempts to downplay it. And other analysts are seeing the writing on the wall clearly of how much sense a deal will make.